And here, Grand Central from the ground floor. Very different view. You can see how crowded it is. Even though it's 3:30 and not rush hour, and it's the day after the 4th of July, July 5th, so it's a lot less crowded than it should be. Just some more of the grandeur. We were in the main hallway, but you can see here how beautiful this is. Now, this is very similar to the way Penn Station was before it was torn down. Pennsylvania Station was actually owned by a private company at 34th Street and 8th Avenue. And the private company decided in the 60s that they really didn't want to have an establishment as big as this where Penn Station was. So they tore it down and they put up other buildings there. And that had created a huge problem in New York City because a lot of people said that was so unfair to tear down such a wonderful structure. And so as a result of that, they created the Landmarks Preservation Commission, which if any building is designated a landmark in New York City, it's virtually impossible to do anything with it, to tear it down or to change the way it might be on the exterior without getting permission from the city. And here's another waiting area. You can see how grand the interior is. How much space was dedicated to just people waiting here. You can see all the beautiful windows. A lot of this is the original. Of course, fixed up, but the original lights, the original windows. Of course, they're trying to make it a little bit more profitable here, so they put in a food court. Originally, that was like a waiting area for people, but now, in the modern age, people really don't wait for trains like they used to. Now, this is some of the grandeur of Grand Central. You can see here from the top part how wonderful it is. This is one of the reasons why they wanted to keep Penn Station, because of this grandeur from 100 years ago. And there are definitely a lot of people who make use of Grand Central every day. Isn't this just beautiful? Seeing everything here. And right next to Grand Central, they're going to put up this one place called One Vanderbilt. Right in this empty space that's here, it's going to be one of the tallest buildings in North America. And they're constructing it right now, building the foundation, but it's going to be impressive. They're going to finish that building in the year 2020. And then right behind Grand Central is the MetLife building. That actually before was the Pan Am building. And at the very top, they used to have a helicopter pad. And then about 30 years ago, 40 years ago, a helicopter crashed up there. And blades came down and ended up injuring people and killing someone on the ground. And from that moment on, New York City never allowed buildings to have helipads on the very top of them. And so now you have heliports at 34th Street and 1st Avenue, and around 23rd Street and 12th Avenue. But isn't this beautiful, just seeing Grand Central and the area around here? And that bridge is Park Avenue. Park Avenue actually goes there, and the roads go around Grand Central, but it's just beautiful seeing that. And this street here is 42nd Street, in case people might want to know. Now, this is another view of Grand Central, a little bit further away. You can see the perspective. right across the street is where they're going to put up this huge building, one of the largest buildings in the country. And it's going to rise over 100 stories. And it's owned by SL Green. That's a real estate investment trust. Now, a slightly different view of Grand Central. This is looking south toward 42nd Street. And this is showing you how there's a different side of the grandeur to Grand Central. And here we're going to be able to take a look at the MetLife building, which is right next door to Grand Central, and it just towers all the way up. It's one of those amazing buildings to be in. And it's connected to Grand Central, and a lot of people just like going through the MetLife building to get to Grand Central. And Park Avenue is right on the other side. So you can see here, this is again Vanderbilt Avenue. That's the Yale Club right there. But Park Avenue is just midway between Vanderbilt and Lexington. Right where that tall building ends on the right-hand side is Park Avenue. And this is part of the roadway going around Grand Central. You can see that here. And it's just amazing. This is the roadway that's going north. And then what we're going to see is another roadway going south. And that's the other part of the roadway going south around Grand Central. It's the greenish painted metal. That's the roadway. It's amazing seeing that, how that works, how they set it all up. And it's a masterpiece of engineering. Now, those two tunnels are the entryway to the roads that lead around Grand Central and down to Park Avenue. This is Park Avenue itself. That's the Helmsley building right there that you could see. Very nice building. And the roads go right through here. The road on the left is heading north. The road on the right is heading south. And it's an engineering marvel the way they did that. And the way it goes around Grand Central, and you end up on Park Avenue south of Grand Central once you go through the tunnels.